The world is entering a new era of transportation, moving from combustion engines towards electric vehicles. But I'm worried Australia will be left in the past. Outback New South Wales is Sydney's backyard, a place of rugged beauty and red dirt. It's home to proud revheads and road trippers, but also fantastic potential for renewable energy.
What we're doing is we're going to open up the regions to offer that infrastructure for people in particular in the cities where we see a higher uptake of electric vehicle purchase, giving them the ability to tour the regions, to experience the very best of the regions. To do that on the back of the electric vehicle take-up, we need to make sure we have the infrastructure there. And as we've seen with the full rollout, especially along the Barrier Highway, we now have the ability for you to take the full run from Sydney right through to Broken Hill in your electric vehicle with charging infrastructure all the way along.
So I set out to do just that, travelling from Sydney through iconic towns like Orange, Dubbo and Cobar. Driving Australia's most common electric vehicle, with a modest range of 340 kilometres, I was keen to see if we'd make it. And along the way, see how Australia's culture was colliding with this new infrastructure. Our first stop was just past the Blue Mountains.
Okay, I'll see if you're at the right place.
Yes, please let me know. Do you have a fleet?
Keep going.
Yep.
And drive to the lower section and we can charge you up.
Oh, phenomenal. Great.
Very nice.
And this is, we have Adam in the car, and in the back we have KJ.
I'm Charles Dalgleish and I'm a mechanic, I call myself. Lithgow's our nearest town, and then Katoomba's the main one in the mountains, but we're on the Great Western Highway. So NRMA has gone and got a great list of free chargers now everywhere, and that's a nightmare. That's the worst thing that could have happened. I mean, I was stuck in Bathurst the other day. It doesn't work. You ring up and the guy says, well, it doesn't work because it's free and so many people are using it and it's been abused.
Tried to use an NRMA charger at Lithgow, but it was out of order. I think as there's a bigger uptake in the electric vehicles, I think that will be problematic. We will need the infrastructure obviously in place to accommodate that, which I hope comes sooner rather than later.
Travelling past Dubbo, the car began to warn us that all known chargers were out of range. To make it to the next charger, we'd planned to top up at a regular power point in the Nyngan Riverside Tourist Park.
We made it to Nyngan, where we are now. We run into a problem though.
Oh, what's the problem?
So we plugged in the charger to a couple different power points and no charge. We think that it's because the charger is broken, but we currently have 140 k's on the car, and to make it to the next charging station is 130 k's, so it would be a 10k buffer.
We'd heard the town happened to have a charger under construction, so we thought we'd ask around. Do you happen to have the number of anyone around that charger in the, I think is it a supermarket?
The council would probably be the best one to try.
Okay.
Council, yeah. Do you want me to ring them or?
That would be great if we could ring them.
Yeah, okay, great. No worries, I'll send her there now. But thank you, bye.
You have made my day.
Yep.
We got blue. We still got blue. And we're green! We're green! Oh my god.
Electric charging stations are now positioned in the IGA just adjacent to the IGA parking lot, so they're really visible to everyone. My name is Jamila Hume, and I'm an artist, and we're in Nyngan in New South Wales.
How many electric vehicles have you seen come by?
None. Yours is the first one I've seen.
I'm Peter Abbott. I'm Mayor of Cobar. I think it's like trying to fit a round peg in a square hole. I've got great reservations, firstly about electric cars, or why not burn fuel in the car and still generate it with coal. Makes no sense to me. But I'm also a skeptic on most of this climate change, etc.
You are a skeptic. Okay.
I'm Natalie Thompson and I'm a Senior Policy Officer with the Electric Vehicle Council. Currently the transport sector accounts for about 18% of Australia's emissions, right, the entire footprint, and a large proportion of that is light vehicles. Putting that industry sort of infrastructure out there to make sure that people have access to charge their vehicles, and that actually obviously increase the uptake in EVs as well.
The Wilcannia charging station was our final link to Broken Hill. But after seeing some warnings online that it had recently been broken, I decided to call ahead and double check.
On hold with NRMA. We made it to Cobar, and the next stop to get to Broken Hill will be Wilcannia, but we called the hospital there where the chargers are. They've let us know that they don't are working. One of them says out of order and the other one's screen just isn't lighting up. And finally they've been fixed just a couple of weeks ago, so they just keep on being repeatedly broken. Been on the phone for the last hour.
The range anxiety, it exists, let me tell you. In fact, you could get divorced over it. It's just prehistoric. It's just like when you're having a Model T Ford and you go down to the chemist to go and buy a gallon of benzene. That's about where we're at. The cars are great, but if you want to go any distances, they've got to get that network sorted out.
It looked like we wouldn't make it. I cancelled plans in Broken Hill and decided to try staying around the central outback.
Good morning, Cobar Central Motoring, Dale speaking.
Hey Dale, do you have any availability tonight?
We're fully booked, I'm sorry. The room I had's gone, I've got nothing available now.
I know because of all the magazines and stuff, you know they exist, like Harley Davidson built the Livewire, $50,000. It just doesn't make mathematical sense. It doesn't make dollar sense at the moment. And you can buy a mainstream petrol bike for about $20,000. That's $30,000 worth of petrol you can burn before you make 1 cent of saving.
Australia is known obviously for being very obsessed with, I guess, SUVs and kind of larger passenger vehicles than maybe European countries, for example. And so I think there is always going to be a bit of that sort of culture shift that is needed.
Wow. Glenn, is that you?
Mayor Bogan Shire, have been since December 24th last year. So prior to that I'd been Deputy Mayor for 5 years and I've been a councillor for 13 years here. Yeah, been in the district all my life. We're at the AGL Solar Farm, 10 kilometres west of Nyngan. I think it's going to become a necessary part of it. Government has their way, it's certainly going to be. So there's no use putting your head in the sand and saying it's not going to happen. It is, so we've got to move along with it. And that's what we're doing.
say people here are hardworking, and there's a mine and agriculture, cotton, cattle. So there's a lot of land-based activities here. A lot of heavy-duty vehicles come through here. The roads get chewed up. Everyone seems to have, some sort of 4x4 because of the roads and the floods and access.
We've had sheep and cattle as well. We have sheep and cattle. We've also done contracting, like with trucks, heavy earth moving, things like that. Yeah, it's something that we probably wouldn't use because of the situation we're being on the farm, but certainly with the prices of fuel and things, people might certainly consider it anyway.
You do need four-wheel drives, particularly like with all the rain and the roads and the state of everything. It is kind of essential to have a four-wheel drive.
The types of vehicles that are available at the moment don't necessarily meet the needs of some people who are looking for those sort of more powerful electric vehicles. Those models do exist actually, so we have that overseas in other countries, but they haven't made it to Australian markets as yet.
Look, I think it'll go down really well. And it fits in with our tourist industry too. Like, we're like a lot of country towns. We've got more and more tourists stopping in Nyngan and pulling up, coming through and having a look about. So, it's a necessary part of what councils are going to have to do.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think, it's a good service for the town, especially people coming through that need to be charged up. And no, I think it's a good little service.
I've been able to talk to local business owners in the regions that are seeing increased trade because of that domestic tourism, because of having those electric chargers and that infrastructure built within their communities.
Who knew you could get a smashed Avo in Cobar?
I had been particularly looking forward to meeting local icon Dr. Annika Molesworth, a climate-minded farmer and electric vehicle owner in Broken Hill. Separated by a faulty charging network, we decided to Zoom.
People are very curious too. Like when we drive the Tesla into town in Broken Hill, a lot of people just stop and they'll walk up to you in the street and say, how long can you get on a charge, and how much does it cost, and lots of questions, lots of interest. The benefits of having an EV car, of not paying for fuel, of having the feel good sense that you're running this off sunlight or energy, it far outweighs anything else. We have to get off fossil fuels. We have to stop putting pollution into the skies, and we also need to develop the systems and the support systems and infrastructure to help rural people do that and be part of that transformation and not left behind as the rest of the country does it.